The Tatar language is a Turkic language spoken by Volga Tatars mainly located in modern Tatarstan, Bashkortostan and Nizhny Novgorod Oblast. It should not be confused with the Crimean Tatar language, to which it is remotely related but with which it is not mutually intelligible. Geographic distribution: Tatar language is spoken in Russia, Ukraine, China, Finland, Turkey, Uzbekistan, the United States of America, Romania, Azerbaijan, Israel, Kazakhstan, Georgia, Lithuania, Latvia, Finland and other countries. Total Tatars in the world are more than 7 million people. Tatar is also native for several thousand Maris. Mordvas Karate group also speak a variant of Kazan Tatar. In the 2010 census, 69% of Russian Tatars who responded to the question about language ability claimed a knowledge of the Tatar language. In Tatarstan, 93% of Tatars and 3.6% of Russians did so. In neighboring Bashkortostan, 67% of Tatars, 27% of Bashkirs, and 1.3% of Russians did. Official status equals. Tatar, along with Russian, is the official language of the Republic of Tatarstan. The official script of Tatar language is based on the Cyrillic script with some additional letters. The Republic of Tatarstan passed a law in 1999, which came into force in 2001, establishing an official Tatar Latin alphabet. A Russian federal law overrode it in 2002, making Cyrillic the sole official script in Tatarstan since. Unofficially, other scripts are used as well, mostly Latin and Arabic. All official sources in Tatarstan must use Cyrillic on their websites and in publishing. In other cases, where Tatar has no official status, the use of a specific alphabet depends on the preference of the author. The Tatar language was made a de facto official language in Russia in 1917, but only in the Tatar Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic. Tatar is also considered to have been the official language in the short-lived Idle Ural state, briefly formed during the Russian Civil War. One should note, however, that Bolshevist Russia did not recognize official languages as such. However, there were a number of languages that could be used in trial in some republics. In the Soviet era, Tatar was such a language in Bashkortostan, Mariel and other regions of the Russian SFSR. The usage of Tatar declined from the 1930s onwards. In the 1980s, the study and teaching of Tatar in the public education system was limited to rural schools. However, Tatar-speaking pupils had little chance of entering university because higher education was available in Russian almost exclusively. Tatar is no longer classified as an endangered language, although it is still a low-prestige language. Higher education in Tatar can only be found in Tatarstan, and is restricted to the humanities. In other regions Tatar is primarily a spoken language and the number of speakers as well as their proficiency tends to decrease. Tatar is popular as a written language only in Tatar-speaking areas where schools with Tatar language lessons are situated. On the other hand, Tatar is the only language in use in rural districts of Tatarstan. Dialects of Tatar there are three main dialects of Tatar: Western, Middle, and Eastern. All of these dialects also have subdivisions. Significant contribution to the study of the Tatar language and its dialects were made by a famous scientist, Doctor of Science in Philology, Professor Gabdul Khatorov, who is considered to be the founder of the modern Tatar dialectological school. Miao currency R. In the Western dialect A is pronounced te florin and as, ts. C is pronounced d. There are no differences between V and W, Q and K, G and I in the Miao currency A dialect. This is the dialect spoken by the Tatar minority of Finland. Middle, Minza currency La currency. In the Minza currency La currency subdialect of the middle dialect Z is pronounced a degree, as opposed to other dialects where it is silent. Slang. In bilingual cities people often pronounce H as X, Q as K, I as E, W as V. This could be due to Russian influence. Another possibility is that these cities were places where both the Western and Middle dialects were used. The influence of Russian is significant. Russian words and phrases are used with Tatar grammar or Russian grammar in Tatar texts. Some Russian verbs are taken entirely, unnativized, and followed with eta currency RGA currency. Some English words and phrases are also used. Gar currency P equals, the your plus or minus abistic currency slang, your plus or minus abistic currency Gar currency B or simply Gar currency P was a distinct cryptolect of the Tatar language, spoken in your plus or minus abistic currency of Kazan. It has been extinct or near extinct since the 1920s. The vocabulary and grammar of the sociolect differ from those of Standard Tatar. The vocabulary includes some words from Central Asian languages. Modern Tatar slang is also sometimes known as Gar currency P. Gar currency P is phonetically equivalent to the English word gap and is Standard Tatar for a talk. Siberian Tatar. Siberian Tatars pronounce a section as ts, cs, j, and sometimes b as p, d as t, f as p, j as ch, t as d, z as s and h as k. There are also grammatical differences within the dialect, scattered across Siberia. Many linguists claim the origins of Siberian Tatar dialects are actually independent of Volga Ural Tatar. These dialects are quite remote both from Standard Tatar and from each other, often preventing mutual comprehension. The claim that this language is part of the modern Tatar language is typically supported by linguists in Kazan and denounced by Siberian Tatars. Over time, some of these dialects were given distinct names and recognized as separate languages after detailed linguistic study. A brief linguistic analysis shows that many of these dialects exhibit features which are quite different from the Volga Ural Tatar varieties, and should be classified as Turkic varieties belonging to several subgroups of the Turkic languages, distinct from Kipchak languages to which Volga Ural Tatar belongs. By studying the phonetic peculiarities of the dialect of the local population of Siberia, Professor Gabdul Kayorghatov, first among the scientists discovered in the speech of the Siberian Tatars, is such a thing as klip-clop, which in his opinion, was obtained for the Siberian Tatars of Kipchaks. In his classic fundamental research work Dialect of the West Siberian Tatars, Gabdul Kayorghatov wrote about a territorial resettlement of the Toboletish Tatars Tumen and Omsk areas. Subjecting a comprehensive integrated analysis of the phonetics system, the lexical composition and grammatical structure, the scientist concluded that the language of the Siberian Tatars is a separate language. It is divided into 3 dialects and it is one of the most ancient Turkic languages. Phonology. Vowels equals, phonemically, Tatar may be argued to have 2 vowel heights, high and low. There are 2 low vowels, front and back, while there are 8 high vowels, front and back, round and unround, long and short. However, phonetically, the short high vowels are reduced, they are mid-centralized. They are therefore generally transcribed with mid-vowel letters such as E and O, high front IA 1/4, high back AU, reduced front EA paragraph, reduced back AO, and lower currency, A. The high back unrounded vowel A is only found in Russian loans, though the native diphthong AY, which only occurs word finally, has been argued to be phonemically A. Loan vowels are considered to be back vowels. Phonetically, the native vowels are approximately high th/I, O/A 1/4, E per mil, N florin per U, reduced th micron/E, EI, O copyright/O copyright, E micron I, N/A plus or minus, EOITH 3/4/O, angstrom, and low O unregistered trademark/E unregistered trademark, O to A, th degree/th degree, E. In polysyllabic words, the front-back distinction is lost in reduced vowels, all become mid-central. Reduced vowels in unstressed position are frequently elided. Low back is rounded, E word initially and after, E, as in ballad child. In Russian loans there are also, E, and E. Historically, the Turkic high vowels have become the Tatar reduced series, whereas the Turkic mid-vowels have replaced them. Thus Kazakh tel language and Kar 1/4 end A correspond to Tatar tel and Kar paragraph N, while Kazakh men I, Kulhand, and Kar paragraph K skyer in Tatar min, Kul, Kar 1/4 K. Consonants equals. Most of these phonemes are common to or have equivalents in all Turkic languages, but the phonemes, and are only found in loan words in literary Tatar. Is also of foreign origin, but is also found in native words, for example yafrak leaf. Pronunciation of loan words equals, while the consonants, e, f, and b, are not native to Tatar, they are well established. However, Tatars usually substitute fricatives for affricates, for example, e, for, te florin, e or, e for, de, and, s, for, ts. Nevertheless, literary traditions recommend the pronunciation of affricates in loan words. E is a sound found in Arabic loan words and Islamic prayers. It is usually pronounced, e, in loan words. Palatalization equals, palatalization is not common in Tatar. As a result, speakers have no problem using the Arabic and jaw paragraph alive scripts, neither of which has an accepted method for indicating palatalization. In general, Russian words with palatalization have entered into the speech of bilingual Tatars since the 1930s. When writing in the Cyrillic alphabet, Russian words are spelled as they are in Russian. In today's Latin orthography, palatalization is sometimes represented by an acute diacritic under the vowel. Some Tatars speak Russian without palatalization, which is known as a Tatar accent. Syllable types equals, v, vc cove, cvc, vcc, cvcc, stresses on the final syllable. Phonetic replacement equals. Tatar phonotactics dictate many pronunciation changes. Unrounded vowels may be pronounced as rounded after o or a paragraph, kora plus or minus, bora plus or minus n, car paragraph zge, sora plus or minus. Nasals are assimilated to following stops, umber, menja section. Voicing may also undergo assimilation, car 1/4 ziz. Unstressed vowels may be syncopated or reduced, ura plus or minus na plus or minus, kaleen, biz, kurdum, qa plus or minus rea plus or minus a section. Vowels may also be elided, kara erman, kyla currency ide, chura plus or minus aram, bula almayem, in consonant clusters longer than two phones, a plus or minus or e is inserted into speech as an epenthetic vowel. Tixta, banka, final devoicing is also frequent, taba ba, taba p. Grammar, like other Turkic languages, Tatar is an agglutinative language. Plural equals, after vowels, consonants, hard, la, after vowels, consonants, soft, la currency r, after nasals, hard, na, after nasals, soft, na currency r. Declension of pronouns equals. Writing system. Tatar has been written in a number of different alphabets. Writing was adopted from the Bulgar language, which used the Orkhon script, before the 920s. Later, the Arabic script was also used, as well as Latin and Cyrillic. Before 1928, Tatar was written with an Arabic alphabet. In the Soviet Union after 1928, Tatar was written with a Latin alphabet called jaw paragraph alive. In 1939, in Tatarstan and all other parts of the Soviet Union a Cyrillic script was developed and is still used to write Tatar. It is also used in Kazakhstan. The Republic of Tatarstan passed a law in 1999 that came into force in 2001 establishing an official Tatar Latin alphabet. A Russian federal law overrode it in 2002, making Cyrillic the sole official script in Tatarstan since. In 2004, an attempt to introduce a Latin-based alphabet for Tatar was further abandoned when the Constitutional Court ruled that the federal law of 15 November 2002 mandating the use of Cyrillic for the state languages of the republics of the Russian Federation does not contradict the Russian Constitution. In accordance with this Constitutional Court ruling, on December 28, 2004, the Tatar Supreme Court overturned the Tatarstani law that made the Latin alphabet official. In China, Tatars still use the Arabic script. Tatar Cyrillic alphabet, 1999 Tatar Latin alphabet, made official by a law adopted by Tatarstani authorities but annulled by the Tatar Supreme Court in 2004. History. Tatars ancestors are the extinct Bulgar and Kipchak languages. Crimean Tatar, although another Kipchak language, is more akin to Standard Turkish. The literary Tatar language is based on Tatar's Middle dialect and the Old Tatar language. Both are members of the Kipchak group of Turkic languages, although they are also partly derived from the ancient Volga Bulgar language. The Tatar language has been strongly influenced by most of the Uralic languages in the Volga River area, as well as Arabic, Persian and Russian languages. Examples: a currency euro yes, yuka euro no, ISA currency NME, says, /SORMA plus or minus, ZAR plus or minus Z, a euro hello, ZAR currency la centem a euro hi, sorbol, a plus or minus AR plus or minus Z, /KSHUE, a plus or minus AR plus or minus Z, a euro bye bye, ZAR NHAR a paragraph a section N a euro please, RA currency KSHMA currency TA euro thank you, IA fuit, aegis, a euro excuse me, min a euro I, sin a euro you, al a euro he. /she/it, bez a euro we, says a euro you, alla a euro they, miller currency TA euro nation, a degree NGLIZ, a picavolt currency a euro English. Further reading, G Phraseological Dictionary of the Tatar Language. Kazan. G Tatar Dialectology. Kazan. Bakarov, R., and Matthews, D.J. Historical Anthology of Kazan Tatar Verse, Voices of Eternity. Richmond, Surrey, Kurtzon. ISBN 0-7007-1077-9 Peruvian Nuevos Soles Tatar Literature Today. Kazan, Magarife Publishers. Pop, NN Tatar Manual, Descriptive Grammar and Texts with a Tatar English Glossary. Bloomington, Indiana University. See also, Tatar Alphabet, Tatar Name, Tatars. Notes. External links, Tatar Language at DMOZ, Tatar Language at DMOZ, Tatar Dictionaries at DMOZ, Web Directory at DMOZ, Website of the National Library of the Republic of Tatarstan, Website of the Corpus of Written Tatar. Language Studies Information about Tatar writing, Textbook on Morphology of Tatar Language, Course of Tatar Language, tatar.org.au, tatar.com.au, Tatar Language Course. Forums Tatar Mailing List, Tatar Connect on the Freyinode Network. History and Literature Tatar Poetry, Tatar Myths, including the story of Angstrom a 1/4 currencyla, Tatar Library, Tatar Electronic Library, links to other Tatar language resources. Dictionaries Russian Tatar Online Dictionary, Russian Tatar Online Dictionary, Russian Tatar Online Dictionary, Russian Tatar Online Dictionary, Turkish Tatar Online Dictionary. Dialogues Tatarska Ruska I Razgovori